is, but Scientology, it has science in the name of it. It claims to be like there's a scientific method to do this, like
There's
A
one
plus
thing,
B equals C.
right? If you do these things rather than like therapy, where it's like you have to dig into yourself and figure it out for yourself, rather than A B C, I'm at D now.
It's like I do this and I do this physical thing,
right?
And then continue doing these physical things, and then I'm happy, as opposed to just trying to come to terms with everything,
like exercise or eating right or whatever. If I eat enough cheeseburgers, I will get fat. Square hamburgers are where it's at. It's a little comedy bang bang.
There you go.
And I love the movie's idea. I think it treats the subject of fear very well. I think if they cast a stronger kid as the lead.
I mean, and
he has a couple of scenes where he does okay. Like the scene where he's actually standing on the tree trunk before he jumps off over the falls.
Again, like that accent I thought it was a decent little performance.
Right.
But that
where
accent,
he loses his temper.
Yeah. I don't know, that accent just, like I said, it sounds like he sounds like a toddler.
Right.
That that doesn't enunciate. Like he says "suh." It's like, you're a coward, almost.
Coward, yeah.
Like that's how my 3-year-old daughter talks. Like,
yeah, or the plantation owners in Django Unchained. Like it's that
like those weird... three people. If I heard,
my daughter.
Yeah, if they're like if they were behind a door and then like put headphones on and like one of those three people said something and they're like, which one was that? I was like, I don't know. Was that Jaden Smith? Like, no, that was your daughter, dude.
Oh shit.
Oh, I love you, rascal.
Yeah, apparently the South did rise again in space.
In space, we're like this. This is a fresh start. We can just sneak in.
Maybe it's Will Smith's way of acknowledging he made a mistake by not playing Django, because he did turn it down.
Yeah, because he wanted to kill the villain.
Yeah, he was like, "No, Christoph can't do it."
Someone brought up I read a lot of reviews for this movie
of After
Earth, and someone brought up a really good point. Like, he didn't want to be in Django Unchained because he didn't feel like
he was the hero.
He was the hero, the main character. And I'm like, so you do this movie where you're sitting in a chair,
but it's his son.
Yeah, still though, it's like.
Also, it's weird because they came up with it, but I think both of the main roles are miscast. Will Smith.
They should have been flip-flopped.
He's dead-faced in the movie. Like he's not acting. He's like reading.
Yeah.
Like there's not an emotional journey for that character. Like he doesn't. You don't feel like there's something behind his eyes. Like it just feels like he's bored.
I mean, there are times where you can kind of tell, like he's like near tears.
There's one moment where he's lost communication with the kid, and he's telling him to do things, and the kid is doing it.
Yeah.
Like where he's telling him, take a knee, get in touch with your surroundings, go to the mountain. And the kid is figuring it out on his own.
But still, it sounds like he's doing it because that's it, because he's a general, that's his soldier. He's not. It doesn't seem like it's father and son.
He does say good boy at one point.
He says it like 4 times in a row.
Does he? Yeah.
I don't know.
4 times in a row. Good boy, good boy, good boy.
Good boy, good boy.
So
he's got OCD.
Like, you watch Unbreakable, and there's a lot of pain between Bruce Willis and that kid. Like, you feel it in every time they're on camera together. And I feel like Shyamalan still got that instinct, but he's lost the ability to communicate it.
Or maybe just because of the characters. I mean, like, there's nothing about Bruce Willis's character in Unbreakable that says, like, you have to be completely stoic.
Right.
I mean, he kind of is, but that's a character choice.
Right. Well, he carries his sorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious in everything he does that he's full of sorrow. And I guess I feel like if they could have found some way to communicate something going on, I feel like it was either a bad directing choice on Shyamalan's part or a bad acting choice on Will Smith's part, that there's just nothing there. And
I think for this, in this instance, Shyamalan's completely a director for hire.
You think so? Yeah. Because there are some of his trademark things in the movie, not the twist so much, but the broken family, the sense of the one character who has the one broken thing that they have to fix. Like the kid in The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis in Unbreakable, or Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense as well. That's a movie that's got 2 main characters, but or Paul Giamatti and Lady in the Water trying to deal with the death of his family. Also, the death of a loved one. I mean, I know these are common themes, but they're also his pet themes. So I guess that might explain why he's attracted to the...
True, yeah.
But he co-wrote the screenplay. He's got a writing credit.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's a certain point after the kid jumps off and goes over the waterfall where the movie gets into a stretch where, for me, I was enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, up till then, it's really rough. I'm like, am I going to have to watch this kid walking through the woods and crying for the next 90 minutes?
I'll give Jaden Smith this much. I mean, as bad as he was in this movie, he does... I'm about to shit my pants terrified very well.
Yes, he does. But yeah, I liked a lot of that, and I liked the end moment, you know, after they've gotten through. I liked the moment where he actually learns to ghost, although it takes forever to get there once the monster's attacking.
Yeah.
It just feels like we know it's like he's literally living through the story his father told. The pincers in his shoulder, he's underwater, but he still doesn't get it. And it's like, why did you go to the trouble of recreating it if he's not going to learn it?
Exactly.
Here?
And then he fights with the monster a little bit more.
Right.
And yeah, at one point I was like, just fucking ghost already, Christ.
Yeah, you actually said it. But the moment where he actually does is really cool, where he looks up and he sees the snow. Like the scenery in that scene too, the volcano and the monster on the cliff.
The cover of Dianetics.
Yes, it is exactly the cover of Dianetics. Like, you could tell that was in Will Smith's, like, next to his desk. He's like, oh!
This is gonna be awesome!
highest grossing film ever? I think so.
No.
Will Smith's on the downslope of his career, isn't
he? Yeah.
Like, when you're doing Men in Black 3, that's smacks of desperation for a hit, right?
Especially so long after the fact.
After
like
part 2.
Like, obviously, like, part 2, like, you know, like, oh shit, Men in Black was a huge hit. We've got to make a sequel.
Right. But that was like 4 years later. That's a totally acceptable time frame between movies.
And then it was, what, like 10 years after Men in Black 2?
Like, it came out last year?
Yeah.
So 11 years.
2012, yeah.
Maybe it was 2002 when the second one came out. I don't remember.
But yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah. We saw that in Powerpuff Girls movie in one go. We did a double feature.
Yeah, I fell asleep during Powerpuff Girls.
It's a shame. You fell asleep during the better movie.
Yeah, I did.
Powerpuff Girls movie was so good.
I was so exhausted. So many monkeys. There were baboons in this movie.
Yeah, the baboons were okay. I liked the bird. And the arc of the bird, where you actually see that the bird gives its life to protect him.
Well, it saw it as one of its own, like one of
its babies.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like his sister, so there's also dealing with that idea. And I really liked the sister character and the way she appears to him in the dream when he's on the Huck Finn raft, he's going down the river.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there were things about it, and I really liked the scene after he's gotten the beacon and they're on the ship, and he says, "I want to work with Mom."
That was funny. It was good.
It
was a good release of tension after everything that.
But I feel like that first act and the weird choices in casting and in writing and accents really saddles the movie and breaks what to me is actually a pretty solid premise. Like, it might be Scientology propaganda, but if it had been done right, it would still be a really effective piece of entertainment.
And we talked about, I asked you about this before the movie, like it seems kind of obvious that it is some kind of sci-type propaganda, just because Will Smith is so
much a part of the church.
Yeah, affiliated with the church. But is it, or are we just like finding things that aren't there? Because I brought the point to you that you can pretty much like view any kind of art through any kind of lens and be like, oh, your Fight Club is about Christianity because you're supposed to get rid of all these materialistic things and build yourself in the image of or be more like the person who you see as as perfection.
Well, I think something my dad said to me once, some fatherly advice he gave way back when, was,
don't jerk off more than 6 times a day.
Yeah, you will bleed cum. You will cum blood.
You will bleed cum.
Yeah, I was like, bleeding cum doesn't sound so bad. Maybe then I wouldn't have to jerk off so much if I just started cutting. There's a practical solution. Nailed it.
Got it.
But no, what he said was, you're going to find reasons to believe what you want to believe. Like, if you believe that there's a God, you'll find reasons to support that. If you want to believe that there's not, you'll find reasons to support that.
Wise man.
Sometimes. He also thought John Kerry had it on lockdown in 2004. So.
Well, there's a while where I thought that too.
Yeah, that's true. You can't blame him for that. You can't blame my dad for Bush getting a second term.
Right. If only your dad hadn't been like, if he hadn't jinxed it.
Yeah, he jinxed it by saying it out loud.
But he said, no.
Oh,
damn it!
God damn it, Dad!
Damn it, Ricky!
That's actually my dad's name. I feel like if you're an honest critic, that you have different, let's say, viewfinders in your bag that you can use to apply to a movie. So, like, you can read The Matrix through a Gnostic filter. You can read it through a Christian filter, a Buddhist filter. Like, there are different filters. You can read anything through a feminist filter, the way it deals with women. Even a movie that has an all-male cast, like Glengarry Glen Ross, you could read with a feminist eye. So I think that there are different ways of looking at things, and that a critic in a particular field, if you're known for being a feminist critic, obviously you're going to take a feminist look at something. But I also feel like it's foolish to assume that there's nothing in there that has anything to do with the creator's beliefs. Like, you have to take into account the artist and their probable intentions and influences. I mean, looking at Star Wars and saying it's got nothing to do with Flash Gordon is foolhardy. Foolhardy. You will lead yourself down a road to critical ruin. Or looking at The Matrix and saying it has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. Or wanting to be a woman.
I think Cloud Atlas is more about that.
think that's more so that.
You should watch Cloud Atlas.
Should I?
I really liked it.
Yeah, but you also liked After Earth.
I didn't like After Earth. I liked things about After Earth. But you're right. I do go into things looking for reasons to like